The life of the Nightlord.
Hello everyone, welcome to PST channel, Game Story, Movie Style, for your busy days. Today we present to you the newest action RPG from software, Elden Ring Nightreign. Our journey will unfold in two parts, the game main story plot and each individual character lore that we have compiled together in our own interpretation as what you would expected from software. The story is set in an alternative universe diverging from events known as the Shattering in Elden Ring's lore. When the Golden Order was destroyed, the time of the night descended and the Nightlord began to ravage the lands between. Against this encroaching darkness, Nightfarers must rise to fight back. Our journey begins as the player takes on the role of Wylder, a Nightfarer wandering Limveld. But this initial foray, whether dream or reality, ends abruptly as Wylder is pierced by Margit's spear, the world fading to black. Though this game introduces 8 classes of Nightfarers, our first focus is Wylder, whose unique 6th sense ability grants a second chance when struck down.
The Nightlord does not rest. As it ravages the lands between beyond recognition. But there are those who would fight back. The Nightfarers. Brought together by happenstance, their commonalities are but few. No shared station, era, or even purpose. Yet together, they are bound by a will. The will to cross the endless night and fight on. Till every shred of their being is ground away. Alas, the curtain may be drawing to a close upon this world.
Wylder awakens later in the Round Table Hold, a sanctuary for those who combat the darkness. Here, a mysterious priestess explains their shared fate. Nightfarers are chosen to fight the encroaching night and the Nightlord, who threatens to bring calamity to Limveld.
Who is this woman suddenly pop up to order us aloud? I am simple, humble person. I accept.
Wylder's own memories are fragmented, yet a journal records his arrival in Limveld driven by a singular aim to wipe out the Nightlord, all while clutching a precious solitary earring. As Wylder battles the horrors of Limveld, including monstrous Nightlords like the 3-headed Gladius and the formidable Noster, fragments of his past begin to surface. The earring he carries whispers of a forgotten word, its meaning lost without its missing counterpart. Each victory against a Nightlord seems to quell the immediate darkness, yet the priestess warns that the true Nightlord remains elusive.
You're the last one. Complete the mission.
No, ultimate kill you. No way. Die, please die. Oh. Yeah. Thought we would end just like that.
These intense battles cause the very land to rupture phenomenon known as shifting earth. A significant revelation occurs when Wylder returns an old pocket watch to the priestess. In that moment, she reveals her true form, a warrior Duchess of the Round Table, now ready to join the fight.
We'll sway this Nightlord yet.
This encounter unlocks another memory for Wylder. The earring he possesses is one of a pair, the other belonging to a twin sister from his life in Windwell Knoll, though her face and name remain frustratingly obscured by the mists of his mind. Wylder learns he can delve into echoes of the past, reliving these fragmented memories to piece together the truth, a process that sometimes brings changes to the present world. A crucial clue emerges when Wylder, aided by the Holdsmith, Ironeye, discovers that a pair of earrings, one his, the other belonging to the priestess, projects an image of twin horses and a poignant message when light passes through them. Two horses gallop side by side. May the wind spur us on our path. The priestess recognizes this as a compass, one that will lead her to someone dear. For Wylder, another memory surfaces, his sister's parting words, "Goodbye for now, and we'll meet again." Though he never spoke of her, Ironeye at the Round Table Hold seems to sense a connection and perhaps holds a clue to her whereabouts. Further investigation in the Round Table study reveals a passage about the priestess. The priestess, mouthpiece of the formless master. Rooted to the Round Table, she must share its fate. This cryptic message deepens when Ironeye reveals in the crypt that the priestess has been a captive of the Round Table Hold for a long time. The Duchess herself later admits to Wylder that she's one of the condemned, hinting at a tragic end. These revelations trigger a devastating memory for Wylder. The night that persisted over Windwell Knoll drove his clansfolk into a horrific battle, leaving behind a sea of gravestones. He is the sole survivor, his cousin Farhad, little Shiran, and his own father, the clan's chieftain, all lost. This is the true source of his burning desire to end the night, though it fills him with despair that he may never meet his sister again. The priestess, an ally Wylder fought alongside many times yet cannot fully remember, tasks him with collecting 4 traces of night by defeating more Nightlords. She relays a message from her formless master, seekers of redemption. On the 3rd night, this land will fall. Band together and prepare to claim the life of the Nightlord.
Together and prepare to claim the life.
Concerned for the priestess's fate, Wylder is advised by a reclusive figure to find a tear of silver. Ironeye points him towards Noklateo, the shrouded city. After defeating a mimic troll and obtaining the silver tear, a new memory surfaces, Wylder awakening to the rustle of cloth and the clink of something being placed on a table. This memory connects to another. While grasping the silver tear, Wylder discovers a familiar brooch among his belongings. In his tribe's custom, exchanging such a gift is an unbreakable promise to fight side by side, no matter the distance. He pins it to his coat, his sister's words echoing in his mind. Once we're done, it'll be goodbye. He clings to the hope that at least one of them might move onward. Wylder's lore. Wylder's story is one of profound loss and a desperate search for remembrance. His home was Windwell Knoll, a place defined by his deep bond with a younger twin sister, symbolised by a matching pair of earrings and their shared twin horses. This idyllic past was shattered when the night, a prolonged and horrific event, led to a battle that destroyed his entire clan, leaving him the sole survivor. Burdened by this tragedy, Wylder's driving purpose is to avenge his people and end the night. He clings to one half of the earring pair, sensing it holds the key to his faded memories, especially the name and face of the sister he can no longer recall. Her parting words, "Goodbye for now, dear brother." Once we're done, we'll meet again. Haunt him as both a promise and a curse. Now, a Nightfarer in Limveld, his mission feels less like a choice and more like a sacred, ingrained obligation. At the Round Table Hold, his obsession with the earring is noted by the Iron Menial, who suspects its connection to another resident. The discovery of a familiar brooch reinforces a tribal custom of fighting side by side, a promise made to his sister that he still intends to honor. Despite the grim reality he faces, Wylder carries a poignant hope that even if their shared past is lost, one of them can still gallop onward to a future free from darkness. After defeated 4 Nightlords, the primal Nightlord appears. It's called Heelstar the Nightlord. When triumph over Heelstar, Wylder uses Silver Tear to turn himself into next Nightlord. Well, because while the secret chapter is directly related to the main game ending, we will come back to this later. And now, it's time to explore the stories of the other warriors of the Round Table Hold. Having unraveled Wylder's tale, we turn to his sister, the enigmatic Duchess. The Duchess's journey begins with a revelation. The Iron Menial is her steadfast assistant, and the Round Table Hold has long awaited her arrival to guide them to victory over the Nightlord. Her attire transforms, shedding the guise of a righteous thief to become the honourable priestess of the Hold. Soon after Wylder is summoned, injured from the outside world, the Duchess learns of this master of the Greatsword, recognising him as a potentially powerful ally against the Knight. Her life in the Hold is marked by growing concern for Wylder. After a battle yields golden dew, she gives it to him, receiving faded iron coins in return, through which she learns the grave extent of his injuries. He is terribly weak, perhaps unable to survive, even if the Nightlord is defeated. This deepens her worry. Later, finding Wylder missing, she discovers him sharing a meagre meal. The pita bread he offers unexpectedly reminds her of her mother's cooking, a poignant flicker of a forgotten life, further solidifying her connection to him as her brother, even as the Iron Menial and the Raider caution her against letting personal feelings overshadow their mission to end the Nightlord. Despite her apprehension, the Duchess continues her duties, defeating a Nightlord known as the Revenant. A critical piece of her own lore is then unveiled. The Duchess is bound to the Round Table Hold. A cryptic note suggests only an object not born of flesh and blood could venture beyond its confines, sparking a desperate idea. She learns she needs a fetish, a personal object of Wylder's, to establish a magical bond that can connect to him in the outside world, especially as he draws closer to death. Knowing this, the Duchess performs a blessing on an iron coin from the Round Table Hold, intending it to be this link. Her journal then updates with a letter to Menial. She asks the Round Table Hold to follow this blessed bond, safeguard her brother's life, and lay the Nightlord to rest. 2 goals she believes they must achieve.
Coming of you. Fine. I'll keep mum for now. You remain as extravagant as ever. Oh, most ambitious, madam. I'll...
Duchess's Law. The woman now known as the Duchess arrived at the Round Table Hold as a righteous thief, only to be chosen for a greater purpose, to become the honourable priestess of the Hold and guide its warriors against the Nightlord. Assisted by the Iron Menial, she embraces her new role, but her world is turned upside down by the arrival of an injured Nightfarer Wylder. Her story becomes one of dawning recognition and growing fear, a series of small interactions exchanging items. Sharing a meal that triggers a forgotten memory solidifies a terrifying truth. This weakened warrior is her long-lost brother. Her concern for him becomes all-consuming, even as others like the Raider caution her against letting emotion cloud their vital mission. A profound conflict arises between her duty as the priestess and her love for her brother. Bound to the Round Table Hold and unable to leave, the Duchess learns of a risky method to protect Wylder from afar, blessing a fetish, one of his personal items, to create a magical link. In a heartfelt letter to the Iron Menial, she reveals her desperate plan. She will pursue the Nightlord, entrusting the Hold to use this blessed bond to safeguard Wylder's life. Her story is a testament to love and sacrifice, a sister willing to risk everything to achieve two seemingly impossible goals at once. Next, let's delve into the story of the Guardian. The Guardian's tale begins in the Winged Realm, born among the Pinion Folk, destined to be a knight. Their memories are haunted by two flocks, their original kin from their home nation, whom they tragically failed to protect, and the new companions they now fare with against the night. A defining early memory of this new flock is meeting a witch, the Recluse, who guided them to the Round Table Hold. It's here the progress of a curse afflicting the Guardian's wing was halted, thanks to the Recluse's knowledge. In gratitude and respect, the Guardian began to address the Recluse as their teacher, arming themselves with wisdom. Fragments of the past resurface, the old flock, winged warriors scouting a citadel below. Then, an attack, a haul of spears raining down. The Guardian's core shielded the greater flock before plunging into the fortress, a battle that ended when cursed blades robbed them of their flight. Back in the Round Table Hold, a memory of the new flock emerges, the Raider attempting to return a fixed helm, which the Guardian bats away, having laid down their helm long ago on the day their first flock was lost. The hunt for a cracked golem in Linfield yields a stone stake, and with it, another memory of the old flock, the Guardian is the sole survivor of a hopeless war. The Pinion Folk feared not death, for their feathers would always regrow. But the cursed blades stole their wholeness, their unity, instilling a paralyzing fear of losing their flight, a curse before which the Guardian's shield was powerless. After the defeat of the Gladius, a beast of night, a more recent memory surfaces, a moment of leisure at the Round Table Hold. The aroma of freshly baked bread draws a pirate, an archer, the Guardian, and a swordsman to the courtyard, just as an unfamiliar merchant arrives. This merchant proves to be a pivotal figure. After a confrontation that ends with the merchant's demise, the Guardian obtains a merchant's ledger. The Recluse, observing the Guardian's fierce will to protect their new flock, the Round Table Hold itself confirms this protective instinct. Within the ledger, the Guardian finds a clue pertaining to the cursed blades and asks the Iron Menial to investigate. The investigation reveals the secret of the cursed weapon, known as Icterus, a product of dark sorcery from a distant land, its power inscribed in blood. The Guardian, trusting the knowledge gained under their teacher, the Recluse recalls many tales heard within the hold of twin horses galloping across Windwell Knoll, the adventures of coastal pirates, the fearsome fellowship, a wandering warrior who preserved scenes with brush and ink, and the witch of the deep woods who wielded cursed magics. This tome of knowledge is then shown to Iron Menial. Finally, a memory surfaces where the Guardian, forced to make a difficult decision for the new flock's safety, is hesitant to interfere. Then, a new figure appears, a girl seeming more dull than human. Her presence reminds the Guardian of a debt owed to the witch, the Recluse, a feeling that it's not too late. The doll-like girl departs, leaving behind a scrap of paper, a potential turning point.
I entrust it to thee.
Chapter 10 reveals that Recluse was the one who birthed the curse which wrenched away the wings of his former flock. But Guardian prefers killing Nightlord to revenging on her. Guardian's Law. A knight of the winged pinion folk, the Guardian is haunted by failure. They carry the trauma of their original flock, lost to a hopeless war where cursed blades robbed them of their flight, leaving the Guardian as the sole survivor. Now, at the Round Table Hold, they have found a new flock and a new purpose: to protect them at all costs. A debilitating curse on their own wing was halted by the witch Recluse, for whom they hold deep respect, now viewing her as a teacher in the ways of knowledge. Their past failure is so profound that they refuse a mended helm from the raider, unable to bear the symbol of a duty they feel they once abandoned. The Guardian's journey is one of atonement, seeking to understand the cursed blades that destroyed their past so they can safeguard their future, all while navigating the complex relationships of the Round Table Hold and the cryptic clues left by its mysterious inhabitants. Now, we turn our attention to the boisterous raider. The raider, a pirate of the coastal waters, arrives in Limveld seeking the ultimate challenge, the Nightlord. At the Round Table Hold, donning a distinctive white-horned helmet, the very sound of the waves seems to echo around them. Yet, even victories against the Night leave the raider unfulfilled, yearning for a rival warrior within the hold whose prowess could truly ignite their fighting spirit, a worthy opponent being more precious than any treasure. The Iron Menial suggests participation in the tourney of the lands between. While engaging, it doesn't fully satisfy the raider's desire. A memory surfaces, being knocked ashore by a wave, their first mate, Weathervane, chronicling their resilience. Later, during a tourney, a conversation with Ironeye. A rival also known as Whiteclaw touches upon the legendary, unresolved rivalry between Whitehorn and Blackclaw for dominance of the coastal waters. The raider, once known as Blackclaw, affirms the pirate creed, never cower from a fight. As the final match of another tourney approaches, their anticipated challenger is notably absent, though the raider waits, knowing their opponent's penchant for tardiness. The sea breeze often evokes memories, like Weathervane pleading with the raider to abandon pursuit of a western sea engulfed by darkness. But the raider, heeding the sea's call, pressed on. After a significant battle where they defeated a Whitehorn and obtained a Blackclaw necklace, the raider, having perhaps temporarily used the Whitehorn guise for the tourney, returns the white helmet to Weathervane, fully reclaiming their identity as Blackclaw. They muse how Weathervane might record their climactic battle, yet a profound change has occurred. The raider no longer hears the gentle sound of waves, the sea within them churns no longer, hinting at a resolution, or perhaps a deep-seated loss from their trials in Limveld.
End to our contest. Getting these back, partner. Roam free.
Raider's Law. A pirate from the coastal waters, the raider lives for the thrill of a worthy opponent, a pursuit they value above any treasure. The challenge of the Nightlord drew them to Limveld. In the Round Table Hold, donning a white-horned helmet, they feel a link to their past. Yet, even as they fight the night, they remain unfulfilled, searching for that one true rival to make their blood boil. Their journey is defined by this hunt for a worthy foe, leading them through the tourney of the lands between and revealing their past identity as the famed Blackclaw, part of a legendary pirate rivalry. Guided by memories of their first mate, Weathervane, the raider ultimately reclaims their identity after a final climactic duel. But in victory, a profound shift occurs, the comforting sound of the waves vanishes, and the sea within them falls silent. suggesting that in finding their ultimate challenge, the raider also found a quiet, permanent end to their thrilling hunt. We continue with the Ironie's law. It is instructions sent from Fellowship to Ironeye. Ironeye finished assignment from Fellowship and waiting for compensation. Isolde assigned new tasks to him. It required journey to lands between. Ironeye is tasked by their custodian, Isolde, to hunt a traitor responsible for destroying a boarding house in Duskin Valley. The trail leads Ironeye to the Round Table Hold, where they form a pragmatic alliance with the priestess. The mission grows complicated as the Fellowship reveals the target. The monster was also raised by them, a formidable centipedal scion. When telling the story of traitor to priestess, she assigns tasks to defeat Night Huntsman and obtain Traitor's letter. The hunt for this brother of the Fellowship takes a dramatic turn when Ironeye discovers a blood-stained letter from Isolde. In it, she confesses her disillusionment with the Fellowship, revealing its agents are treated as disposable tools. She speaks of her own foolish dream to seize the Knight's power to save them from their fate and urges Ironeye to abandon his mission and forge his own path.
Have you any news to report? I didn't think he would make the first move. We should bide our time for now.
Inspired by Isolde's words, Ironeye eliminates the traitor but finds their purpose reforged. No longer a mere tool of the Fellowship, their focus shifts to the greater threat, the Nightlord. After defeated Holster the Nightlord and offering clenched dagger to the corpse, Chapter 8 is added. Ironeye sends passage to Isolde. He desired freedom from the yoke of Fellowship because Isolde showed him the possibility. Now his night shall never end.
The night is far from over.
Telling Ironie's lore, Ironeye is a highly capable agent, a beloved child of a clandestine organization called the Fellowship, operating under their custodian Isolde. Their story is one of duty transformed into self-determination. Initially tasked with hunting a traitor known as the monster, revealed to be a dangerous, the fellow creation of the Fellowship, Ironie's mission leads them to the Round Table Hold. The true turning point comes not from the battlefield, but from a bloodstained letter from Isolde herself. She confesses her despair over the Fellowship's cruel system, where its agents are treated as disposable tools. Recognizing the folly of her own dreams to defy this fate, she instead urges Ironeye to break free from his obligations and follow his own convictions. After successfully eliminating the traitor, Ironie's purpose is reborn. Inspired by Isolde's desire for his freedom, he shifts his focus from the Fellowship's shadowed vendettas to the larger threat of the Nightlord. In a final message, he thanks his custodian for showing him that a path beyond their control was possible, embracing an uncertain future with the vow, "For now, my night shall never end," a declaration of a new, personal, and perhaps eternal war. Next, we explore the tragic tale of the Revenant. The Revenant's journey begins in confusion, awakening with no memory, only the instinct that they were fleeing the encroaching night. In the Round Table Hold, the Duchess reveals their purpose: to seek revenge upon the Nightlord. Slowly, memories return. Her name was Daphne, daughter of the prestigious House of Northerncroft, a family of master puppeteers. Her life was shattered when the night consumed her family's estate, And on that day, her consciousness was transferred into the body of a doll. Even in this new form, Daphne is pursued. The Guardian tasks her with retrieving a blade of night fragment, while the Iron Menial provides cosmetics to conceal the dark marks of the night that corrupt her doll body. He warns that the Recluse has noticed a hole in her memories that the night is using to take root. As the doll, carved by her grandmother, has been eaten up further by the night, Daphne seeks the Recluse's help. The witch sends her back into a memory of her family's mansion. There, after confronting a contaminant, Daphne faces a mirror and a heartbreaking realization. The human Daphne is gone forever, and the identity of a doll no longer fits. With this, her purpose crystallizes to bring an end to the night. Conclusion of Revenant's lore. The Revenant awoke as a lost soul in a doll's body, her memory wiped clean. At the Round Table Hold, she slowly rediscovers her past. She was Daphne, the daughter of the esteemed House of Northerncroft, masters of puppetry. Her life was stolen when the night consumed her family estate, her consciousness transferred into the very doll she now inhabits. Even as an inanimate being, the night's corruption pursues her, appearing as black streaks on her doll face a physical sign of a hole in her memories that the darkness is exploiting. The doll itself is a painful reminder, a creation of her grandmother that she can no longer remember naming. Her dreams are haunted by echoes of her former life, of a young girl's gentle touch, a stark contrast to her cold, artificial reality. The final, heartbreaking turning point comes when she confronts her own reflection. She accepts that the human Daphne is gone forever, and that the simple mantle of doll no longer fits her tormented existence. With her past erased and her current form decaying, a single, burning purpose remains: to bring an end to the night, the very force that stole her humanity and trapped her within this artificial shell. We now follow the cryptic Recluse. The Recluse, a witch of the deep woods, journeys to Limveld searching for something coiled in shadow. This is her beloved infant, or gnawling, a being she birthed through her witchcraft, now lost. She traces a trail of ancient magic, believing a shard of night holds the key to its connection to the greater night. This search is also an atonement for a long-lost companion, the Witch of the Wheel, who was once the infant's nurse and a woman of deceit. The Recluse enlists the Iron Manual to investigate a night shard. The investigation reveals vestiges of the infant teeth marks on the shard itself, and a matching vestige of night within the Round Table hold, both radiating a familiar magic. The Recluse believes her infant, with its unending hunger for shadows, must have encountered the Nightlord and devoured his shade. Within this vestige, she senses the magic of her old friend, the Witch of the Wheel, and realizes the long-departed witch is somehow the key. She recalls a tragic memory during a great clash of armies. The infant, after devouring the shadows of the enemy, became lost and fearful, baring its fangs at them. The Recluse, failing to offer comfort, paid the price with her friend's life. A confrontation is sparked when the Recluse attacks the Iron Manual as he sharpens his sword, forcing him to reveal a shocking truth. She is the Witch of the Wheel. She confesses she no longer wishes to search for the child, though she can still hear its voice by touching a bone-like stone.
To return me to life. Now, we're reunited. Perhaps we ought take this chance to speak.
Finally, after the main Nightlord is defeated, the Witch of the Wheel offers a cryptic thanks to the Recluse for bestowing love upon their knight. The Recluse at last holds her infant. Its crying ceases as it finds peaceful slumber. The story of Recluse's lore. A witch from the deep woods, the Recluse is driven by a singular, primal goal to find her beloved infant. This creature, which she calls the Gnawling, was born of her own magic and possesses an insatiable hunger for shadows. Her search is also a quiet act of atonement for her long-lost companion, the deceitful Witch of the Wheel, who once served as the infant's nurse and died tragically. Her investigation within the Round Table hold reveals a terrifying possibility. Her infant, in its hunger, likely encountered the Nightlord and devoured his powerful shade. The trail of clues, including the magic of her old friend, leads to a shocking memories of Witch of the Wheel, her old friend. A past memory confirms the tragedy during a great battle. The infant who feasted on the shadows of the slain turned on her and the Witch of the Wheel in fear. The Recluse was failing to comfort it and lost her friend. In the end, it is this love and comfort that resolves her quest. After the final battle, the Recluse is able to hold her infant, and her embrace finally brings it peace. Finally, from the deep woods to the land of reeds, let's explore the story of the Executor. The Executor is a unique warrior, his flesh partially plated, who sees the world through the eyes of an artist. With a brush in hand, he seeks to capture fragments of memory. Hailing from the distant land of reeds, he was drawn to Limveld by the sight of the Erd Tree, which became the central focus of his art. His journey through the Round Table hold is marked by a dual identity: an artist, a guest, a silent witness, and perhaps an executioner. This duality is tied to a mysterious guest, an old friend from his homeland who waits in his painter's shed, their vigil linked to the completion of the Executor's masterpiece. A grim fate hangs over his work. The Executor believes he cannot finish his painting of the Erd Tree until another executioner arrives in the first one's stead. A prophecy that intertwines his art with a dark destiny. His perception of his guests shifts, at times seeing them as a crucible knight struggling to render judgment. A vision of this same knight performing the forbidden rite of seppuku solidifies the Executor's resolve. Embracing his nature of two faces, one sword, and acknowledging himself as a soul drenched in blood, he decides to face the night head-on, hoping that once the darkness is purged, he will finally be free to complete his painting of the Erd Tree.
let any who dare disturb such peace face my blade.
Conclusion of Executor's lore. The Executor is a unique individual from the distant land of reeds, marked by flesh partially plated, suggesting a past injury or unique nature. He identifies primarily as an artist, using his brush as a window into oneself to capture fragmented memories. His central artistic and spiritual motivation is a grand painting of the Erd Tree, which he feels is incomplete. He perceives himself in multiple, often conflicting roles: an artist, a guest in a new land, a silent witness, and, ominously, an executioner. This duality seems tied to a guest who resides with him, an old silent friend from his homeland. This guest's presence is linked to a fateful condition the Executor believes he cannot complete his Erd Tree painting until another executioner arrives in the first one's stead, suggesting a ritualistic or predetermined sequence of events. He increasingly associates this guest with a crucible knight, a figure who seems to struggle with rendering a difficult judgment. Finally embracing his complex identity as having two faces, one sword, and acknowledging he is a soul drenched in blood, the Executor resolves to face the night. He holds on to the hope that once the darkness is past, he will at last be able to complete his life's work, the painting of the Erd Tree. Nightfarer and the group open the gate to confront another Nightlord named Libra, and the fourth Nightlord named Adel.
Night. You will make it this time.
The Final Confrontation and the Age of Night. Now that the tales of these lost warriors have intertwined, their collective journey leads to a final confrontation with the primordial Nightlord Hellstar.
I think I'm doing a good job for the first half. Almost. Oh, cool. First time here. Nightlord slain.
Upon its defeat, the champion is warped to an outside dimension, standing before the Nightlord's true corpse. Here, they must offer up the Nightlord rune, a powerful artifact safeguarded by an ancient tribe who foresaw the night's coming and intended to challenge the gods. This rune held the very power to bring about an endless age of darkness. With its destruction, the night finally ends, and the Nightfarer, their purpose fulfilled, becomes free, their essence turning to fragments that fly back towards the Erd Tree in the outside world. Following this, a final, cryptic scene unfolds. In the distance, opposite the familiar Erd Tree, a new colossal tree with a humanoid form appears. It seems to rise, leaving the Erd Tree behind as it begins to walk away, its destination unknown, before the scene fades to black. Now for our analysis of that final, thought-provoking scene. What does this walking giant tree man signify? This theory gains significant weight when we consider Wylder's secret ending, where he uses a silver tear to become the next Nightlord. Why would he do this? His lore reveals a heartbreaking motivation. He realizes that ending the night completely would sever his connection to his sister, the Duchess, who is bound to the Round Table Hold and its fate within the dark. His choice is not one of malice, but the brother's love. The walking tree, therefore, is likely Wylder himself, the new vessel for the night. His journey away from the Erd Tree is not an act of aggression. He is taking his new domain, his Age of Night, and moving it far away so as not to impose his eternal twilight on the rest of the world. It is a self-imposed exile, creating a self-contained world of shadow, where he and his sister can remain together forever, separate from the restored order of the lands between. It is a new, mobile domain establishing itself, carrying the essence of the night to forge a separate and unknown destiny. And so concludes our journey through the interwoven tales of Elden Ring Nightreign, from Wylder's quest for his sister to the Guardian's atonement and the Raider's final peace. Each story adds a new layer to the endless dark. But what do you think of the final outcome? Does the walking tree signify a new beginning for the lands between, or the start of an even stranger, more terrifying darkness? Let us know your theories and which Nightfarer story resonated with you the most in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.